a brand new episode of On VJ's Playlist, and today I'm joined by the absolutely mellifluous and sensational Akanksha Bhandari. Hello, lady. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you so much for having me, first of all. And I'm doing great.
Amazing. So we are here to discuss your latest release, Saawariya, but I also believe that you have started the year with Hanuman Chalisa. So firstly, let's begin with talking about the year that has just started. So why did you choose to start your year on a very, very auspicious note with your rendition of the Hanuman Chalisa?
I think last year I was just like going through a phase where I didn't know what to do. And one of my, astrologer uncle told me that, you should visit Hanuman Mandir and just try and do that, just pray to Hanumanji and like, okay, and I know how to recite Hanuman Chalisa, so I used to do that bachpan mein. But I stopped doing it beach mein because how it works. आप busy हो जाते हो, आप नहीं कर पाते हो. So he told me that, and I did it for like 2-3 weeks, and I felt really good. And I believe that because Hanuman ji ka aisa hota hai that when you recite Hanuman Chalisa, it quickly gives you that strength whenever you need it. So I believed in that, and I wanted to start something my year with something spiritual, and Hanumanji definitely helped me. So I thought I'll just do that because I keep doing that, and my parents also keeps telling me that कुछ spiritual record किया करो so that हम आपकी आवाज में सुन सकें. So that was also one of the reasons. So yeah.
I think that kind of explains it all, Akanksha, because I personally believe that when it comes to artistry, especially for singers, divine intervention plays a lot of importance and significance, especially in the way the artist pursues his or her art. So do you think having a certain sense of spirituality, and by that I don't mean that one has to be extremely religious or has to be a fanatic, but do you feel that some amount of just embracing spirituality in a sense helps an artist in a long way?
It helps you, like I would say spiritually, obviously not religiously always. Spiritually, it can be doing meditation or listening to some chant or just following something related to your mind, something like that. So it really helps as an artist. It gives you peace of mind and gives you that clarity to work on your art, so all of these things. So I really feel that spiritually, because I was not that spiritual. I was religious before that, but I was not very spiritual. So I understood the difference between religious and spiritual few years back only, when I was going through a phase, and I started meditating, started doing yoga, started doing affirmations and all of those things. So it helped me definitely. And it is very important for an artist to get into something spiritual, something, it can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be all of these things basically, not religiously. Though sabka believe apna apna alag hai. I do believe in Hanumanji, so that's why, but spiritually it's definitely very important for an artist to go ahead.
And of course, you did this in collaboration with Amrita Arora. So, how was the experience? How was it, involving another artist, who shares the same wavelength as you? And how crucial was it to get somebody to collaborate with you on something as divine and purposeful as this?
So before this, I have also recorded Ikonkar. I think that was in year 2019. When we were going through pandemic and we were like about to get into the lockdown. Yeah, so that time because obviously my parents told me to do that first, and it's good to record something spiritual, because it just feels good. And I remember when I recorded that, I had to cover my head with the patta, and I was recording Ikonkar. And with Amrita Arora, because he comes from that classical background, and he's a very spiritual personality. So,
Right.
you know, and when I asked him, he was totally in for it. And we are very good when it comes to making music together. So yeah, he just said yes, and we did Ikonkar, and then we did Hanuman Chalisa. And in Hanuman Chalisa, it's like a 12 minutes song, like Hanuman Chalisa, that what I did in that speed. So it was very sweet of him to record that for 12 minutes. Like, he was being very patient. So yeah.
Let's talk about your latest release, Saawariya, which I believe has already, wowed your listeners, and it's something that kind of somewhere also establishes your evolution as an artist, and how far you have come in your journey. Because I believe, Akanksha, it's been about 5 years since you professionally started, doing music. I think you began in 2018, and now as you enter your fifth year, there couldn't have been something more fitting to kind of, I would say, substantiate your journey as an artist. So Saawariya is that apt collaboration. So for those who have still not possibly yet caught on to the release, if you have to just give them a quick idea about what Saawariya is, and what bend of mind did that idea stem from, what would you tell them?
So this is not my composition, and I've not written the song, but
Yeah.
I've been a part of the song since 2018, I guess. We recorded this scratch. Harun and Gavin are the composers, and Sid Kaushal is the lyricist of
Yeah.
the song. So we just randomly, they called me, and दो तीन scratches I sang for them, and they really liked it, and it was going well with my voice, and we never thought of releasing it that time, but we pitched it to Velvet Vibes, and they really loved the song, and then we completed the song last year, and that's how it began. And honestly, there was no purpose of making Saawariya. It was all Harun and Gavin and Sid. I just went and sang the song. So yeah, and the Saawariya is basically talks about the pain when the person leaves, and cherishing all those moments when you were spending before he was not there. So that's all about it.
Akanksha, if you have to look back at your if you have to retrospect about your journey, from the time you began in 2018, what have been some of the big learnings and some of the, the big discoveries that you have made along the journey? And do you think the scene somewhere, at least for women in music, has become better from the time you began?
Definitely. All thanks to social media also. But yeah, when I started, I was very new because professionally I didn't know what to do, how to record songs. Even when I came to Bombay, I had no idea. And
if I believe you actually never really thought of pursuing music professionally, if I did read that correctly in an interview that you mentioned.
Yeah, when I came to Bombay, my motive was honestly to be an actor. I don't know why. I don't know still why, because I'm not really, I'm okay. So, but yeah, because I studied in a film school, so that also helped me, reach where I am today. But yeah, professionally, I was not ready. I didn't know actually what to do professionally in music. So when I was interning in a music label, I understood how, this is how it happens, and that gave me the push to pursue music professionally. So initially, definitely it was difficult. I didn't know how to approach music directors, how to do professional live shows. Nothing. I had no idea. But I just went with the flow. I just followed what people used to call me thoda bahut gaane ke liye, scratches. I sang so many scratches. It was a great learning for me, definitely, because obviously when I didn't know how to record a song, तो initially आपको पता नहीं है, बहुत सारी technicalities होती हैं, so आपको पता नहीं होता है. But definitely singing scratches for music producers were like a great learning. I definitely got a lot of rejections also. That also made me strong enough to work on my skill, and I feel जो अभी I'm doing, maybe उस time पे I couldn't do it because I was not ready for it. So yeah, the whole journey has been a learning experience for me.
let's talk about your early days as an artist. I believe you come from Amritsar, and you have grown up. Amritsar, from what the layman idea that I have about the city is, there's a lot of spirituality all around. Of course, with the Golden Temple situated in the city. And it's also the breeding ground for a lot of local talents. Much of your musicality, from what I understand, is deeply influenced by very, very local sounds, very, very folk sounds, and sounds that are much rooted to the soil, much rooted to tradition and culture. So,
Yeah.
when you were growing up in an environment like that, what were your immediate influences? Who are some of the artists that you listened to when you were a little kid, and how influential were family and friends around you then in kind of shaping your musical interests?
Yeah. So Amritsar, I've actually been in Amritsar for not a very long time. We shifted to Ambala, which is also
Okay.
like near Haryana, Punjab.
Hmm.
But I've grown up listening to a lot of folk music, a lot of Sufi music, and a lot of ghazals. Thanks to my mom, she's taught me a lot of Punjabi and Himachali folk songs. She used to sing thoda bahut. तो
Actually.
उन्होंने मुझे बहुत सिखाया folk music में. I think she's the reason that I started getting into folk music. And the artist that have grown up listening to is definitely Surinder Kaur ji, जिनका folk music बहुत famous है. And Nusrat ji, Jagjit Singh ji, and Ghulam Ali Khan Saab, and all of that. And I think I've not learned music professionally properly, but
Oh.
whatever I've learned is all because of them. I used to listen a lot. I think listening is a great, great learning. So I used to listen to them a lot, like loop pe sunti thi, and I used to sing with them. So that these are like my gurus, जिनको मैंने सुन के सीखा है. So yeah.
So, are you implying that you've not like sought formal training in singing?
No, no, not at all. But yeah, in 2018 end, I started
Hmm.
learning thoda bahut, and I'm still now started again because it's very
Okay.
important to polish your skills. But yeah, bachpan se I've not learned professionally. Like proper training I've not taken.
I must say then there's certainly some divine intervention at play, that you're really blessed with amazing vocals in that case. But
Thank you.
because I have to say, I mean, when one listens to singing, it's like it really feels like that there's a huge amount of blessings from somewhere from the universe, and that you are abundantly gifted with the best vocal prowess that someone can have. But because you spoke about how your mom has taught you a lot about she's taught you a lot of Himachali folk and Punjabi folk. I think some of those influences also spilled on when you did your EP Rahi, because it somewhere it also reflects about your learnings from both cultures. And I believe you are also a very ardent traveler. I mean, from whatever little I can see of yours on Instagram, and the fact that I've seen some of your stories also, is that you love traveling around a lot. And Rahi reflects about your travels in from Himachal, from Punjab, and from Assam. So how much of, I mean, what do you really gather when when you're traveling as an artist? Or what are the experiences that you look for, and how do you look at inculcating them in your music?
Uh, the reason that I love traveling is definitely because I love to explore different kinds of cultural music. And because Rahi came from that only, definitely. I wanted to basically try more of it. I haven't started doing that, but I want to explore, I think, every city's music, because it's very interesting to understand different cultural music and to learn something, because they have very our country is very wide, and in terms of culture. So I really want to explore every single city ka folk music, and I want to do more of it. I want to do more of Rahi, but definitely I'll work on it. But yeah, I mean, that's what I look for it. And in terms of traveling, yeah, I love to travel a lot. And my main motive initially for Rahi was to travel and then scout something folk in every city. But that didn't happen. But yeah, I'm going to do that soon too.
I believe collaborations in your journey have really propelled, much of your, discography, whether it was doing Noor with Zayden and Lost Stories, whether it was doing Ranjana with Says on the Beat. You've also, I mean, of course, so many people learned about you through Tere Liye with Atif Aslam. You've shared the stage with Arijit Singh, with Shan, and, with some of the most popular names from the Indian music business. So Akanksha, if I have to ask, what is it that you have learned from each experience, or from each collaborator? What is something about them that we possibly as listeners do not know, and something that you have learned as a collaborator, and something that you feel that, oh, this is a great approach, or this is a great habit, or something about each collaborator that you have worked with that you think that, oh, it's something that it's inspiring, but it's something that I wish I can also kind of adopt in my approach towards music?
I think in terms of collaboration, firstly, it's very important to collaborate because you only don't get to make your songs listen to your audience, but to the other collaborator also.
Yeah.
And definitely it gives you a lot of learning. आप बहुत सीखते हो as a collaboration when you do it, because how the other person is approaching that song, and how they want to do it. So you learn a lot. Ki, okay, this is his or her way of making music, and this is my way. So how can we like collaborate those two ideas? So it's very, very important first of all. And I remember when Tere Liye was released, I got to introduce to a lot of fans of, like, there's a huge fan following of Atif Aslam. You know that. So it was crazy when I saw people tagging me. There was like thousands of people tagging me while Tere Liye was released, and I could see, and I attracted a lot of audience, and I still have those people who used to follow Atif Aslam, and now they listen to my music. So it's very, very important that way also. And of course, learning to hai, aap seekhte bahut ho when you collaborate. So I think these two things are very, very important when you collaborate, and you attract to your music also.
You said that social media played a huge role in people discovering you, and like it has done for a lot of artists actually, and especially during the pandemic, social media was literally the boon, the biggest blessing that we had, because otherwise I don't know how else we would have functioned as a civilization, staying indoors for all those months of lockdown that we did. But I think much of your eventual transitioning also happened was you began with doing a lot of covers, of popular songs, popular Punjabi songs, popular mainstream songs that helped you get discovered on social media, and that's how you eventually switched to also recording originals. So how crucial do you think is how crucial do you think is the idea of taking to social media and putting out covers is? Because what happens, Akanksha, from what I have also observed from an outsider's perspective, is many a times it's so easy for an artist to get bracketed as a cover artist, and then for them to be taken seriously as artists who can also bring out original music. That's kind of a very it's a very tough spot. So how, or rather, what would you suggest people who are trying to make that switch or trying to make that transition, as to what are the do's and don'ts that they can kind of adhere to?
I think it depends on what people are listening, what your audience are listening right now. Because I remember when I started doing covers, people were like into listening to cover songs.
Yeah.
But now the time has changed a lot. People listen to original music, especially after the pandemic, and I think now it's easy and very, very convenient for the artists, for new artists to release their original music. And I still would say that, you know, it's okay if you want to definitely do covers initially. Maybe you want to see how it goes and all of that. But
Yeah.
now I think if you have you have access to so many things, you can aram se release your original songs. So I think you should go for original. I prefer doing originals more than covers. Because initially, obviously, when I started, tab itna nahi tha original music. And initially, even I never used to write original music. It all started after pandemic. So yeah, I think I would prefer doing originals more than covers.
One of my personal favorite questions, Akanksha, or as we near the end of every interview, is to ask the artist who are some of the best Indian independent talents that you have been listening to in your spare time, and you feel that wow, I really appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah, there are my few favorite artists, but honestly, I don't listen to too much of independent music. Because I want to really work on my arts. I keep going back to my roots. I've started listening to Noor Jahan again, and started listening to Surinder ji again, because I want to really explore more of it, because I think बहुत सारे songs हैं जो अभी explore नहीं हुए हैं folk songs में. So I'm just trying to listen to those songs. But having said that, I have few favorite independent artists who are doing really good. One is definitely one is Raghav Kaushik, one is Twin Strings, and one, there's so many, but yeah, I can't recall right now.
No
but these are
pressure.
like my favorite. These are like my favorite.
Lastly, Akanksha, to conclude our interview, now that we are like about 3 months down, 2023, what is the way forward for the rest of the year? And I see that you've already begun the year, performing a lot. You are visiting a lot of tier 2 cities, and you're making your presence felt there. You're doing a lot of corporate gigs. But what's the way forward in 2023? Do we see more music, more collabs, or do we see yourself wanting to do more live shows? Just give us an idea about the year ahead in a nutshell.
I think balance. Balance is really important. Because shows are also important. That's the main source of income also.
Yeah.
But yeah, my main motive of 2023 is to release music, to be very consistent in terms of releasing my music, and to do a lot of collaborations, because last year, I remember, I haven't done anything. I haven't released too much of music, my own personal music. But this year, definitely, I want to release more of music and be very consistent. Maybe one song a month, or one song in 2 months, depends. But I'll try and release more and more, and to gain my audience, my listeners, and yeah, do a lot of collaboration. I'm in process of doing a lot of collaborations, but think about that. But yeah, these two things.
Basically, you have quite a handful on the plate. It's all about just streamlining them. But thank you so much, Akanksha, for your time and for doing this interview with me. And I wish you all the very best for a lovely and fulfilling musical journey ahead.
Thank you so much for having me.